This is my commentary on one of the more climatic scenes in the film Pickpocket. At this point of the movie, Michelle and the police decoy are at the horse racetrack together to place bets on the winning horse. The police has already shown Michelle the amount of plentiful cash he has in his pocket, and Michelle seems to recognize that this is most likely a trap to bait and lure him into his arrest. A brief introduction to Bresson's style of film, such as in this one, is that he tells the story through the form of Michelle's voice narration almost as if it's a diary entry. Many of his shots focus on the faces and hand movements. They're caught at mid to long distances with very minimal camera movements. Notice here how close they are in proximity and how they are basically back to back or against each other. Michelle's hand movements are a large focus throughout the film, and they are very intricate and delicate in how they move around with such stealth. These acts imply a lot of sexual undertones and erotic charges. And we will see in Michelle's eyes the ecstasy of a man who is surrendering to his compulsion and the excitement of whether or not he will be caught. He points out again here that the police has an evil gleam in his eyes. He knows that he will be arrested if he continues with the act, but he is almost surrendering. He is wanting to be caught. I believe this connects to a lot of the Superman complex, which originated from Nietzsche's philosophy. It entails the greatness and superiority of man that transcends that of the normal human being on Earth, and they are invincible to the worldly forces and laws. Michelle sees him as a Superman throughout the film, and he believes, much like Ivan from Dostoevsky's film and novel Brothers Karamazov, that all things are permitted and above the law. He believes that he can act outside of morality because he sees himself as more superior than others in the society. He is wrapped up in this blanket of narcissism, and he treasures this image of himself as a man that is so special that he is privileged to steal from others. He has the capability to have a normal job and make money, but he chooses not to as he believes that is not for him, someone who is so great and of greater existence. He perhaps deliberately acts outside of morality, not just because he is more superior, but also because he may see his own faults in pickpocketing and therefore seeks punishment. He hesitated for a second, but he continues to succumb to his inner desires. I want to also point out the sounds in this film right now is very focused on his surroundings and the sounds of the city and the people around him. And in this very intense moment and almost what seems like the climax, there is no music, there is no large sound effects, but simply just the natural sounds of the surroundings. It adds to this tension and has a strange hypnotic power, and almost feels anticlimactic at this very important scene. If you observe the room of his prison cell right now, it much reflects his home, and it kind of seems to insinuate that Michelle is already imprisoned by his daily life because of his inner struggle with his superiority complex. Much like Yvonne, who always was tormented by his idea of all things being allowed and his philosophy of doubt. And here we also see Michelle struggling with him and himself, and yeah, just the individual person. Notice that even in this moment, Michelle has very passive movements. He's very expressionless. He continues to have this defeated stance, and there is no anger, there is no big emotion, but just acceptance and just passivity, at least in his physical expressions. I want to further comment on the seemingly bland and complacent character of his. It seems to come from his detachment of society, which is a result of his Superman concept. It also resonates a lot with Dostoevsky's character Raskolnikov in Crime and Punishment, where he also commits crimes and he believes that he can get away with it. He continues to run away from law or even challenges them because he does not think he can be confined to the system that we as humans put on the society. Something that does conflict with Dostoevsky is the aspect of human relationships and passion, Raskolnikov is a very passionate and expressive man, unlike Michelle, who is the complete opposite. But leading up to these scenes, in the final scenes of the movie, we see Michelle sort of develop a more expressive love towards John, who is like a figure of morality for him that he realizes that he needs in his life to overcome his superiority, his uh, desire to continue to pickpocket people.